Looks like I have a zit on my face. The hell? I'm like 100 years old. I don't though. I just look like it. My lighting. So emergency off. I was just looking at Minutes of Horror. He's been getting threatened by mysterious people who can't spell very well. We seem to have bad grammar about making videos discussing some of these things that are appearing in the sky, and how the Vatican is now going to make some kind of proclamation about what this means. It seems to fit. It could be anything, right? Like it could be Blue Beam, or it could be the CERN stuff, veil coming down, seeing things. Whatever the reason, they feel like they have to make some kind of statement about it. And he's been covering that one that keeps popping up near Antarctica. It looks like a portal in the sky. It opens and appears all around different places around the globe. And he first got a threatening email about that, and now he's got, I guess, another one about the Vatican. Why is it all blurry? There we go. Can't even keep it blurry in the Batcave. I go look at the screen. I start talking and like my eyes start looking around like a fucking eye Tourette's or something. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. Like, it could be like some kind of real deal agency or something, because they're stupid. They don't spell well. But it's more likely just some kind of troll. But you know, why does it mean not much to them? Kind of weird. Something to it. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. And the other thing that I really got sucked into this morning was understanding conspiracy, talking about the Satan's little season, and the idea that Christ has already returned, and he's been here and gone, and now it's a little season. And it's funny, whenever I talk about Revelation, I always make a point to say, yeah, you know, when you read it, it sounds like it's being described as something that happened in the past. Like it's being talked about in the past tense. And even when I'm not even talking about something, the possibility of like a little season or something, I for some reason I feel compelled to always say that, to always point that out, because it really does feel that way. And I did a video yesterday where I brought it up again, because what my idea was a possibility that these things work in a cyclical way. We've already had a revelation, we had a reset, and we're going to have another revelation, then Christ comes back again. It just keeps kind of happening. I don't know, but at any rate, I was certain, well, I was pretty much thought, like a lot of people, that we're living in the end times. The road's running out, Jesus is returning. But understanding conspiracy makes a pretty compelling case. And from there I went to another guy who also had a lot of good points. And the biggest thing that understanding conspiracy said that really got me thinking, because of the way I think, is he was like, if you notice this narrative of where in the end times and Jesus is returning and all this stuff is being allowed to be talked about everywhere. It's never challenged. And that's kind of like, that activates the almonds. And I'm the same kind of way when I think about things too. I'm like, yeah, you know, why is that allowed to be spoken about? And then when he started talking about the little season, and I've seen other people talk about it too, but he's been on it, you know, for I guess he started talking about it at the end of last year. I've seen a few people discuss it too. There's this one woman that fucking YouTube hides people I like from me. That's a problem. I had to spend like a half hour trying to find Outlaw TV last night. They hide the things like I really like, and if I watch a video on how to unclog a drain, my feed is just 2 pages of plumbing videos. It's like, no, it's just whatever. The point is, if I can get back to it, is that it is a possibility that already kind of happened. He's already been gone. Now we're living in the same little season where he's allowed free reign. I don't know. I've always operated under the idea that Jesus is coming. It's all going to be washed away. Either way, we're getting out of here. Doesn't change that. My feeling is, once enough of us kind of reach the higher frequency that we need to reach, we are energy beings. When enough of us have been turned on, the awareness is shared, the group consciousness, which, because we are actually only one being, just split into these different points of attention, expressing themselves as individuals, we're gonna just fucking vibrate out of here and transcend this place. I never really thought much about the rapture. It seems like it supposed to happen every few years, and I've always said too, Jesus, when he returns, my feeling was he's not going to be coming up on a cloud. He's not going to appear on the horizon. He's going to come back through us. We would bring him back through us, through our actions, through our tuning up together. So, are we not in the time of Revelation? It's weird because, it doesn't look like it. I've been saying for a couple of years now, like, we're entering into that time. The 7 years, we're entering into that time. And, I still go outside of my house and it looks like fucking people shopping and drunk people screaming in the street. It's just a regular day. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, I don't know. I'm going to look into this a lot more. It was never a topic I took very seriously. Not because I was so set in my ways. It's just that I spend a lot of time talking about related topics. The spiritual war. Regardless of how things are going to happen, there is a struggle between good and evil here. God and the devil. And you are the one who has to discern how to navigate this whole thing. No matter if we're in a little season, if we're in Revelation, the story's the same. It's still the same. You're a child of God. You are God's progeny. And he loves you. And, we will return there, And we got to put up some shit. And, I don't know. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. And got me thinking, got the almonds activated, which is good because today it's raining. Look at how crazy it is raining on here. I don't know if you can tell. Can you hear that? I shut the camera off when I was walking out the door. Yeah, I can't even see the mountains today. It's just gray. It is pouring out right now. That's the beach over there. That's usually the mountains over there. Yeah, it's dumping. So I really can't walk around and discuss these things like I like to. So we're in the Batcave. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know. It makes me think a lot. Like it's I gotta kind of sit and just kind of mull this over. I understood the concept that I've heard people talk about it, but I never gave it much thought. Understanding conspiracy now, I don't know. There's something about that guy. He's really smart, and he came with that whole Nephilim as clowns idea, which just fascinated me. And it tied a lot of things together, and it just made a lot of sense to me. Sometimes I talk about the spiritual shit test, the tuning fork you have inside you that kind of pops when something is true or right. Doesn't always work, but for some things it does. And it really popped me when he started talking about the Nephilim clown connection. I don't know. It feels like that's. It feels like that's true, And that's why kids are so terrified of clowns. This other creator I was just watching who was talking about the little season, he had a list of, I'll put him on the screen, I forget his name, but he was giving a list of why he thinks we're in the little season. And he was talking about Santa Claus and how you give your kids over to Santa Claus, almost like a Moloch type of situation. And kids are real intuitive, you know. And they always freak out when you put them on Santa. It's not that they look miserable. And there's a lot of weird stuff about Santa Claus. You know, I don't even know where to start with that. It's funny because every day it seems like there's more and more to this onion, you know. And I mean, I go through little phases where it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm just waiting for something to happen. I mean, there's always something to research, to uncover, to look at. But they seem to go in, for me anyway, in bigger chunks of download or information, you know. Like, and lately, the past like week or so, it's just been hitting like crazy. And synchronicity too, holy shit. Synchronicity is going nuts. Me and Nia did a video I just posted yesterday about, we started talking about Polaroids for some reason. And then I get home, and you don't really hear about Polaroids too often. We talked about, you know, how they worked and how there's a new one, it's not that good. So I come home and I was watching some old interviews with a band I'm into. And the bass player's like, yeah, I got a Polaroid camera here. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I have a new book out. It's called Polaroids. It's all these Polaroids. It's like, it was Nicky Wire from Ministry Preachers. And they have basically the same conversation me and Nia had on our video. Like, yeah, they have new ones and they're not good. And I was like, wow. And then later editing that video, I talk about, I know Dave's going to be freaking out if I keep moving around. I was talking about a bus, so I use the expression throwing someone under the bus. And just as I said it, a bus drove by. Of course, Carl freaked out. He is the father of synchronicity, as he likes to remind us. But yeah, it's everything is going through another one of those phases where things are ramping up and getting more I don't know, not more serious, but more frequent. The speed and the volume are increasing of information or understandings and covering things. I wish I could meditate. Oh my God, I can't do it. I've tried so many times. You know, I first started trying to meditate in martial arts, which I wasn't really very good at, martial arts or meditating. I was in and out of it as a kid, and I just can't do it. My brain just won't allow me to. I'll try as hard as I can, and I'm good with imagination. You know, I imagine myself in a blocked off kind of white ball above everything, and in the back of my mind it's like, did you leave the microwave on? Is the microwave on? Is the fucking coffee on? You turn the light out in the bathroom? I can't do it. But if I could, I wish I could, because these things, otherwise I have to wait for these kind of downloads to come to me. Usually when I'm in the shower, I get a lot of information. And what I mean by downloads and get information is just sometimes some of these subjects, with me anyway, it'll just hit me like, oh, that's why that is. It just comes to you, you know? So, yeah, I gotta do some data collection. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of interesting stuff. If it wasn't pouring out, I'd be outside walking around talking about it, but instead we're up here in the Batcave. I'll try to get out later, though. I just wanted to make a quick little message here. And, yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna have some coffee now. Thanks for popping by. Until I see you again. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.